Good morning, everyone. This is Brian coming at you from Hiking for Wellness. We made it from Springer Mountain to Justus Creek campsite last night. We hiked yesterday about almost 15 miles. I think it was 14.7 miles. I've been up since about 5 this morning. Woke up early when it started raining. Started to get all my equipment packed. See, right now we got our first through hiker walking through this morning. Just been kind of lounging around this morning, waiting for the rain to stop just a little bit. I've got my rain gear on, as you can see. We're going to go out and try. The goal today is to hike about 10 miles. We're going to try to get to Lance Creek is the plan. And the reason I'm targeting there is from the next 10 miles that we have after that is where they require to have bear containers. I think it's Jared Creek to Hall Creek area. And because that's just another one of the things I opted out of because I just wanted to keep some lightweight equipment. Decided not to do that. And it's kind of a wet morning. You can see I've already had my breakfast. Opted for a different way to have coffee in the morning. Which especially, originally I wasn't going to bring anything like that, but my friends, Piglet and Rabbit, gave me some coffee before they left in some little packets. Definitely something I think I'm going to invest in when I stop at the next town. As we're going along, you're going to see on the blog that we're doing some lessons learned as we're out here hiking. We're also sharing our stories about growth and what we're seeing along the trail. Just a couple things I just want to mention real quick is when you're out here doing an endurance hike like this, I know it's early on, and these are some of the things you want to mention. There's some things that we're going to change. Is water is really important. Water does add a lot of extra weight to the pack. I think a liter of water weighs about 2.4 pounds. I felt like I was overweighted yesterday with water. I had my camel pack, which you can see right here, which fits into my backpack. It holds 3 liters of water. I think I had 2.5, almost 3 liters in that when I left the camp. And I had my bottle here, which is a 750 milliliter bottle. Completely drank the camel pack, and about 2 hours away from the camp is when I noticed that I was at, and I started, even thinking I need to start rationing my water just a little bit because I did not want to run out of water. So the last couple hours I didn't drink nearly as much, but again, I was hiking almost 15 miles yesterday. And one of the reasons I stayed at the camp where I did is, I left at the site at 8:15 at Springer Mountain, got here to Justus Camp about 6:15. Which was a 10-hour hike day, which was a long day. 15 miles is probably pushing on my second day out in the trail. Matter of fact, not probably, it really is. I do want to try to be a little more consistent for the next week and hike 10 miles a day. As you guys have been following my videos, you've seen we did a lot of training for Hiking for Wellness when we've been out in California. One of the things I can say differently I already noticed here, besides all the lush vegetation, if you look behind me, you can just see the trees. It's really beautiful out here. But one of the big differences is out here the hills are much more up and down. So you're constantly going down, you're going up. I make a lot of time on the downwards, on some of the flats. Out in California, it's a lot of really steep climbs when you get up. It's probably looking at some of those places where I've trained at. You may be looking at 25% gradient at some of those places, but once you get to the top, you're walking along the ridgeline. For several miles, then you go back down and you come down through some flats. When I was out doing a lot of my training hiking out there, I was able to get sometimes 2.5 miles an hour, to carry my backpack. But out here, I seem to right now I'm averaging about 1.4, 1.5 miles per hour. Did almost 15 yesterday, and 10 hours, right around there. My other side is, I am stopping, taking breaks. I stop. My tentative goal right now is about every hour to hour and a half. I usually stop for 5 minutes. Every 2 hours, I stop for 10 minutes and eat a snack. I'm just trying to really keep the calorie intake up. I'm still not sure yet what I'm burning. It's one of the things, actually I know what I'm burning. I really am burning up 3,000-4,000 calories a day. And that's what they say you're going to do when you're out hiking like this. So one of the big lessons from yesterday was making sure you carry enough liquids with you, and don't just drink it all early. You need to pace it throughout the day, but it's important not just to keep yourself hydrated, but you're doing that also so you don't get cramps. And you want to make sure on the first day that we were out hiking, we only hiked 9 miles only. It was a really big steep climb, several thousand feet. The thing with that is I did get some cramps at the end of the night with that. Some Charlie horses after I've got done. So one of the other big things I made sure I did yesterday when I got back here to the camp, not only during the day, Made sure I got some peanuts and some nuts in me because they're really high salty. Some of the backpack foods that we're eating also have extra sodium in them. I'm not a real salt kind of person, so it's a little bit more for me to eat the salt. But the other thing is making sure you're stretching. You know, we just can't expect to just get up and go in our bodies when we're doing this because, you know, putting a lot of work into them. And again, we're trying to do this in a healthy way, so it's important to stretch in the morning, whether you do yoga or just do some stretching exercises, but it's also important to do that in the evening when you get done. By the time, you know, right now, another one of the limiting factors we have right now is light. Generally doesn't start getting light out until about 7, and then by 6:15, 6:30, you know, it's starting to get dark, so you really want to be in a camp somewhere. And although I pushed it last night, getting to 6:15, it was starting to get, the sun was going down. By the time I got water and got camp set up, you know, it was after 7 o'clock and it was dark, and I was using my headlamp, which made it a little bit harder, you know, to pick a spot where you're going to set up your camp at. One of the things you want to make sure that you're doing is that, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to always make sure that I'm not hiking past 4 o'clock. You know, especially right now, I'm going to try to get on the trail every morning by 8 at the latest. You know, so I'm not in a hurry to do this. You know, it's all about doing this responsibly and doing it right. You know, every day is going to be what it's going to be. When the days start getting a little bit longer, you know, I'm going to start hiking a little bit more. Also, in a couple weeks from now, when I start to get more of what they call your trail legs, I'm going to start picking up the pace. You know, and then I'll probably start doing more. I'll start off with doing more 15-mile days. This week, I want to keep the rest of the days down to 10 plus miles, maybe 10 to 12. Next week, start doing 10s and mixing up some 15s in there. We've got 9-10 months to get this hike done. We're just in the first couple of days. It's going to be just learning as we go. I've got a lot of experience doing field work, you know, and being outdoors and hiking and camping throughout my life. But, you know, this is remote camping. It's a lot different. We just want to kind of share our stories, and hopefully we can get you guys to come out here and do some hiking. You're not necessarily with us, but you're welcome to come join us. You know, hiking for wellness is about raising the awareness of childhood traumas, but it's also about helping people live healthier lives one step at a time. And with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a great day. Get outside today and go do something fun. And we'll talk to you later on today or maybe even tomorrow. Bye.